Hey guys, how you doing? I really appreciate y'all guys coming in here early. Dangerous Freedom, Philip Turner, Colleen O'Sullivan. Um, I'll tell you, God bless America. You guys are so great. I appreciate your support more than you know. I really do. And I look forward at every live stream to see my friends in the chat. It's uplifting, to be honest with you. It really is. It gives me a reason to do the next show. And I'm no celebrity. I'm no internet icon, but I try to do my best, to bring you the news the way I see it. And when I have guests, I like to bring guests on that have some information that that maybe you haven't heard yet. So I want to just gather some people in here. We've got some great people already. I'm going to turn this phone down. It's alerts are going off like crazy. So there we go. I want anybody that sees this on the replay. I want you to sub if you're not already subscribed, and hit that like button on your way in or your way out. Leave me a comment. If you leave me a comment, here's what's going to happen. If you leave me a comment, I have a Trump 2020 Commander-in-Chief Donald J. Trump coin. I also have a silver bar, 0.999 pure fine silver. So leave me a comment. Your name goes in the hat. When your name goes in the hat, the drawing will be when I reach 1,500 subscribers, which is only 17 away. So y'all help me get some subscribers, and maybe we'll have a quick giveaway. But I want to give it away at 1,500 subs. I like to do that. I'm not a rich man, but I do like to give back to those who give to me. And if you don't believe me, ask my best friend, Dangerous Freedom. That's how we met. He won 2 bars of silver last year, and we've become great friends. He's the only person I know of that I can get really pissed off at, and in 2 minutes we're hugging each other. He's a great guy. I love him. He's a fantastic human being. My PayPal will be somewhere in the links below or in the chat. Hey, Whiskey Supremacy, how you doing? Colleen, glad to see you guys here. I'm not even going to look at my count. I just glanced at it, and it says there's 2 people in here. So maybe in a minute we'll get some more. But support my channel if you can. My PayPal information will be in the chat somewhere, and help me grow. Help me keep bringing these videos to you. And I want to remind you that Sunday morning I'll have a 11 a.m. Bible study, and then Sunday night we have a special guest. Sunday night, Dangerous Deplorables, Dangerous Freedom, and I will have a candidate for Congress from the 14th District of Michigan with us. His name, as you may know him, is Detroit Preppin. His name is Roger Henderson. He's running in the 14th District as an independent, and we're going to try our best to support him the best way we can. And so that'll be Sunday night after Alex, Disabled Vets Perspective. And then Wednesday night, I'm going to have Tactical Technician back. He was supposed to come on last Wednesday, but Mom got hurt, and I couldn't do a live stream. So I got to tell you, I need to do a mom update right quick and let you know. Mom's doing really good. I'm really surprised. I thought it would be something that would hold her down and maybe put her on a downward spiral. But I'm going to tell you, at 88 years old, she is surprising me. And I saw somebody in the chat last night or the night before say that I didn't talk very much about her hurting. Well, it's true. Yeah, you break your foot, you're going to hurt. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is she's doing great and everything's looking good. Her foot's not swelling. So all we got to do now is wait for the bones to heal. But I just wanted to mention that. And let's see, what else is there? We've got a lot to talk about. I've got a special person in here. His name is Fight and Defend, and I'm going to bring him in now. We're going to talk about some stuff. And I'll tell you, whatever this man says, you can believe, because he digs deep. He is good friends with Sam. Sam Reports. And I'm going to tell you, you talk about two deep divers. This is another one right here. So good to see you, John. Glad you're here, brother.
Hello to the room.
I know that I've got more people than one in here. My live chat up there shows I've got one person in here. So
yeah, YouTube.
I know we got more than that, but
yeah.
PDX Scout, 12B Georgia, Wookiee Supremacy, Rob Call, Patty Toff, good dear friend, Rob Call, Colleen O'Sullivan. Let's see, we'll get another one in here. Dangerous Freedom and Philip Turner. Yeah, we got great people in here, brothers. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to start off this thing. Let me read this one quick little thing, and then we're going to get into the meat of this topic. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right. The Chinese media conglomerate called Tencent. All right. Now, I want to tell you, Tencent is bigger than Google. Okay. So did China's Tencent leak the true number of cases to the public? The word out is that Tencent is leaking the true numbers of all of the dead and the dying and the afflicted rather, with this coronavirus. China says there are 31,532 as of this morning. And I say Tencent's correct. Their number is 154,023, with 24,589 dead. People, that's 10 times what they're telling us. Tencent has released large numbers. They've released these numbers periodically 3 times, and they get shut down every time. It's the fact that the doctors were told in the hospitals to misdiagnose the coronavirus, and the dead were immediately cremated by the Chinese government. And now there's shortages of test kits. So it also leads to a lower number of infected as put out by China. But I think you have some other information, brother, about China, and not just what they're doing there, but in Taiwan and around the world.
Well, one of the things in China is there's 2 individuals that have been reporting on this, getting the information out to all of us. And he had photographs of bodies piled up at one of the crematories. He has since disappeared. They know that he was taken by the government. They don't know where, but he has disappeared, and they haven't seen him since. And so you know how that works. Probably won't ever see him again.
Who was he?
He's a journalist that was releasing information over YouTube to get out to the world, to let everybody know how bad it really is.
Okay, he was a Chinese journalist.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but now with Taiwan recently wanted to fly one of their own planes over to China to evacuate the Taiwanese people.
Exactly. Yeah.
China said, no, we'll fly them out on ours. And they did.
Really?
When the plane landed, everybody on the plane was accounted for as Taiwanese except for 3 individuals. And out of the 3, one of them has the coronavirus. So, and he didn't belong in Taiwan. He was not.
And if he's traveling with the other 2, well, it doesn't matter. He's on an airplane. How many people did he infect on the airplane?
Exactly. So they're saying the Taiwanese government is saying it was intentional. Says it now appears China is attempting to export pandemic to Taiwan by swapping seating evacuation charter flights with human weapons who are known to inflict with the coronavirus, who are known to be inflicted with the coronavirus. So it said the NCOV strand of the coronavirus was genetically engineered by Chinese scientists to create the perfect biological warfare weapon, which could one day be deployed against the United States. Stunning new investigations have revealed. So they're calling a Trojan horse on Taiwan.
Oh, wouldn't you think so? Yeah, of course.
So
China and Taiwan have been at odds for years.
yeah.
So what better thing to do than to take send somebody over to Taiwan with the virus to get it started there. It's a small island.
Yeah.
It's not much. It's an island nation, and kill half of them, and then take Taiwan back when this is all over. You know, and then again you have President, or should I say Emperor Z. He's in hiding. You know, he's already sequestered himself off somewhere, you know, away from this virus, probably underground somewhere.
Yeah.
He's gone. You don't see him. He's not in the picture anymore.
Well, you know, the thing is too, the World Health Organization, who we know.
Oh, who?
Yeah, who? And Billy Gates there, you know, they want to know where they are on this. And it says for this effort, the communist Chinese regime should be labeled a criminal regime that is committing crimes against humanity. Yet the compromised World Health Organization remains committed to China, even absurdly praising China for its transparency.
Transparency.
Right. But then you go and hang on one sec. You still got me?
I got you. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Rob Call, Patty Toth White. Thank you for being here.
Let me try to dig that back up here. Hang on.
All right. Well, I know for a fact, you know, I watched a video today from a guy in China, in Wuhan, and I sent it to you. I don't know if you watched it or not. But this guy was telling the truth. You know, I mean, he was just a Chinese citizen. He's in his 20s. You know, he's able to go in the back door to the internet, you know, to get out because they've got all kind of blockage there. And he was able to get out. Now, then again, he may have been able to get out because the Chinese let him. I don't know. But right. He talked, and just like the 10 cent people are, it's much worse, much worse than what they're telling us.
Well, and we, you know, like we discussed there, the issue they got now is somebody, they're not saying who, has been grabbing used masks and selling them to the Chinese people.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess you call that recycling. What, so, recycling the virus?
Yeah. But the sad thing is then you start going deeper into this, and then comes the greed. It says global equity markets and government debt yields slumped on Friday as growing concern about the virus impact on global growth overshadow a strong U.S. jobs market. U.S. Right. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Friday said the United States was prepared to spend up to $100 million to assist China and support coronavirus efforts by the World Health Organization. The United States has sent nearly 17.8 tons of medical supplies to China, including mask, gowns, and respirators, a State Department official said. The World Health Organization said out of $675 million it is seeking for the coronavirus response through April, it has received pledges of $110 million, $100 million of that from the Gates Foundation.
Imagine that. Well, now that you brought them up, let's talk a little bit about the Gates Foundation. If memory serves me right, it was October, I think, or November. I don't know which. But the Gates, Bill and Melinda, I think is her name.
Yep. Melinda Gates.
They bought the patent to this
Yes.
coronavirus.
Yes, they did.
So they own that virus now.
Let me see. I may be able to get you the date right here. Hang on one sec. if this brand new computer stays up, I'm telling you.
That's the whole thing. People don't understand that, the Bill Gates is the richest man in the world. One of them, if not the most, and he's bored. He has to throw his money around to make world changes.
Yeah.
He's better than everybody. He's got the better idea, and it's going to kill us all.
If the coronavirus has been around for a while, but the corona's patent granted to Bill Gates funded institute in 2018.
All right. If the coronavirus, as far as I know, was originated in 2003.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. Yep.
Yeah. But now he wanted to buy the patent.
I mean,
what is a patent on a biological warfare weapon?
I mean, what do you get a man who's got everything?
I mean, you're talking about biological warfare.
Yeah.
In the beginning, that's what this virus was made for, was for biological warfare.
Yep.
Like the 1918 epidemic or pandemic of the Spanish flu that killed 50,000 American soldiers. More died from the pandemic than died in battle.
Yep.
What better way to cull the world population than to come up with this coronavirus that has the potential to kill, and it will kill, and it has killed, and it will continue to kill. And depending on who you are who catches it, depending on your age and how healthy you are,
right,
you may just die.
Right. The other thing going on in Taiwan now is they had a man who allegedly hid his travel to Wuhan, came back to Taiwan, and has been to gatherings and mingles and actually even a wedding. And because of it, 4,000 people now are quarantined due to him because he's tested positive for the coronavirus.
One man quarantined 4,000 people.
Yes.
Yep. Guys, do you not see what's happening here? If you think for a minute this coronavirus is just going to go away, it's not. It's going to get worse. And there's a great big chance that it can mutate into something much, much worse. In China, they're calling it pneumonia. Well, it may be pneumonia, but it's a pneumonia that will definitely kill you if you are not one of the healthy people. It's a known fact. I mean, this is how you do this. That's how the Black Plague was spread. I don't think for a minute that came from rats.
No.
I don't think they devised it. But it came from somewhere, maybe. And that's the way mutations happen. Things start mutating and they come into something that does not gel with mankind. And it can be devastating. Look at the cattle, the same thing. Remember hoof and mouth disease? Remember mad cow disease?
Yep.
Yeah. Diseases affect all mammals and all life on earth. It's just a matter of which disease you're going to catch.
Now, where did that start in the U.S.? Do you remember?
What? Mad cow? I think around Iowa somewhere.
Nebraska,
maybe, yeah. Somewhere in the Midwest.
Because that came out right after Plum Island, which was off the coast of Connecticut and New York, where Lyme disease was all put together. When they closed down Plum Island, they moved out to Nebraska. And right after that, mad cow disease, the swine flu, all started appearing in the Midwest.
Well, but you're right when you're talking about Plum Island. See, Plum Island, people don't understand, but Plum Island was a top secret, research base. And they dealt with DNA and, mutations and everything. And so, but that's our government all over again. That's our government.
It's crazy.
You know, you can't trust them. You can't trust our government. You certainly can't trust China's government or anybody else. I mean, I like Donald Trump, but he's not going to tell us the truth. He's not going to break it down to the lowest common denominator.
You know, one thing that I never figured out about Trump is at one point after Plum Island closed down, he was looking at buying that
I wonder why.
Before he became president.
And that's something.
I never figured that out. They just released something, Bobby. They're saying right now, at the rate things are going in China, that the number of infections is going to double every 6.4 days.
Wow. All right. That means that in 6 days, we're going to have over 300,000 people and over 75,000 dead.
Yeah. Now, like we discussed, that researcher in Taiwan brought up a good point. Somebody that has the coronavirus, when they're cured, that they carry that in their body like Lyme disease, and it can pop up whenever it wants. Like
exactly,
me,
or like herpes, you know.
Yeah, like me years ago, I got Lyme disease really bad, and it was so extreme that almost every July since then, because it was in July when I got bit, I will actually break out with rings, the whole 9 yards, have a fever. And the doctors had said, you have it so severe that don't be surprised if it doesn't continue throughout your lifetime.
You're exactly right.
Yep.
You know, it's Iron Crane, dear friend of mine. He supports me. Deplorable Bobby, this is something I wish some of the always Trumpers would realize. Yes, he's good for us. Yes, he's fighting for us, but he's a politician now. And it's hard to trust them to be up front. And you're exactly right. And it's not just here in the United States, it's worldwide. You cannot trust those in power. Because I'll tell you, Donald Trump went in there. Let's call him, he went in there as a virgin. Well, I got news for you. He ain't a virgin no more. He has seen the worst of the swamp, and it's changed him. You know, he had to change. He had to mutate to defeat them because they're so evil. And I think he's doing the best he can.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I wouldn't trust any of them at all.
Well, I never have. I don't trust any government. When I was in the military, I was deceived. You know, I was all gung ho for God, country, and American flag.
Same with me in law enforcement.
Yeah.
That's what got me into this stuff. I got to see it firsthand, how corrupt it really was.
Yeah, you know, to protect and serve is one thing, but to get into the belly of the beast is another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I told people for years there was an underside to this world.
There is always an underbelly.
Yeah.
Always. And you'll find too, as an underbelly, they're easy to attack, but really hard to defeat. You know, and as for myself, I thank you for your service. You know, I mean, people don't have to serve in the military to serve this country. You can be right at home on your computer and serve this country in this day and time.
Yeah.
Get the word out. Tell the truth. You know, bring it to everyone's ear that you can, that we are being deceived on every turn. We have to support something, and the only thing we can really support is each other.
Yep.
And that's where the militias and you know, are coming into play, and people are starting to gather as a unit. Right. And my hope is, John, that if it ever comes to it, I'm praying that Donald Trump will be on our side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's he's playing off a lot of evil. You know, I mean, like we discussed, he said something recently about before he was president. You know, he got to see the other side, and through doing some chasing rabbits down the holes here, he was well known with the Epstein gathering and that whole fiasco there in his heyday before he was a politician. So he did just admit the other night, he said, I've done things wrong in the past. So hopefully it stays in the past.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I got to say something on that. I don't think that Donald Trump is a pedophile or was involved with him in that way, because I don't want anybody to think that. But what I'm saying is this: when Donald Trump was a businessman, a non-politician, he had to grease the palms of a lot of people to keep everything flowing smoothly in his corporation or his empire. Call it an empire if you want to. But anyway, I mean, he donated to Hillary. He was a Democrat. He donated to the Democrats. He donated to the Republicans. He backed Epstein. He backed the Queen. He backed everybody because he wanted to be liked. He had to spread his money around. Well, and now it's all coming home to him. It's all coming home. And he wants to distance himself as far as he can from Epstein. And I don't blame him. I'd hold him guilty for having any kind of business dealings with him. But I hope and pray, and I don't believe that he's involved in any of that.
No.
But I do believe Bill Clinton is.
Oh, yes.
As well as Prince Andrew.
Yes.
And many others.
That's a whole other thing I'm working on too. Chelsea Clinton and her husband. And of course, now after, the whole Epstein case, they're saying they're denying knowing them. But on that issue, that Ghislaine, I call her Giselle Maxwell.
Yeah. Maxwell, which was right. His girlfriend, quote,
girlfriend, recruiter, or what have you, is MIA. Even the prosecutors have no idea where she is. She's been missing for days. What a coinky dink. Again.
I was looking in a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying, where is Ghislaine or whatever her name Maxwell is? And she's been missing for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Now, is she on a hiatus somewhere, or is she dead?
Good question.
Well, I'll tell you what, if she's dead, how much information did she have on Bill Clinton?
Oh, I got a whole thing on her actually picking up Bill Clinton in the whole 9 yards.
That's what I'm talking about. You haven't seen hiding her hair, this woman.
Yeah.
Okay. She's supposedly the recruiter and the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. But she's also had sexual relations and gotten girls for Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And, so we know Hillary, the queen of the killers.
Yeah.
Who's to say that, well, if she shows up, we'll know different. My guess is she's been Arkansas'd.
Possible.
I don't think she's here anymore.
She knows a lot.
I think she's with Epstein right now.
Yeah.
And that is dead.
Yeah. Yep.
And I do believe he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people say, oh, no, that was a body double and all that kind of stuff. No. Hillary don't miss.
No.
Her hitmen don't miss.
No, they don't. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's a whole other thing in itself. And how I got into that was after doing some looking into our rhino Mitt Romney.
Oh, that's my next topic. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, old Mitt Romney and Ghislaine Maxwell's dad were partners in a company that was notorious for buying up companies, bankrupting them,
and
then walking off with millions and millions of dollars.
Was that Bain Capital?
Bain Capital.
Yep.
So,
what he was doing is he was buying up companies, bankrupting them, and taking the profits.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, that there you go. He's underhanded, but what he's doing right now, when he voted to impeach President Trump, it was all out of jealousy and bitterness. He can't stand the fact that he failed in 2012.
Yes.
You know, he can't stand the fact that Donald Trump is president. You know, he's officially a member of the resistance, according to Trump.
Yeah. Well, and I forgot what position it was, but he had gotten, I'd read earlier, he had gotten together with Trump at a golf course to discuss him being put in office by Trump, and Trump turned him down.
Yep.
So there's still bitter feelings about that. And then soon after that, you know, Romney started bad mouthing Trump. So,
well, like Trump said, he says he failed as a presidential candidate at Mitt Romney.
yeah,
If he devoted the same energy and anger to defeating Barack Obama as he sanctimoniously, how do you say that, does to me, he could have won the election. So if he was as powerful of a politician against Obama as he is against Trump, he would have won.
yes, and I think that's what he's bitter about, because he would have won over Obama.
Well, you know what made him lose the election was because he said he had women in binders. Remember that? Talking about 3-ring binders, and they bought into that. Hello, Charity. How are you? Charity, I tried to, let me see if I can do this.
Yes, he did. 12 feet, Georgia.
I'm going to give you, all right, Charity, I promise you. I know that. I appreciate you, girl. But you know what's so funny is I'm trying to do that. There we go. I'm trying to make you a mod, and I really don't know how, but I'm going to do that, Charity. Just give me time to figure out how to do it. But yeah, I want you to be a mod. You're a great lady. Thank you. Thank you. And Dark Matter. You're great people. Black Matter. And I'm going to tell you, those are two people that I truly care about and I truly love, as well as Philip Turner and Patty Toth White, Donnie Newman. I mean, you guys are great. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday night. But we have a lot of topics to go over, and man, I'll tell you, it's got to Charity just called, but I didn't get the answer.
Oh, I guess they're trying to find my my channel. I haven't done any videos yet. You know what?
Okay, here's what you wanted. Can you put your link up to your channel? Patty Toth White wants fight and defend. Channel link. I do not think he has videos yet, but darn YouTube chat won't let me post links. I'm going to give you a wrench soon, Charity. I've already tried.
Let me see if I can do this without losing you, Bobby. Hang on 1 second.
I find everything Charity except add moderator. Dang it, that upsets me to no end. But anyway, Charity, as soon as I figure out how to do this, because I'm an idiot, you will have a wrench, my friend, I promise. But anyway, so yeah, Black Matter's a great guy.
We don't know the world's crisis, but we can't figure out our computers, Bobby.
Well, I am not a computer savvy kind of guy. I'm really not. Oh no, man! I'll tell you what. I'm lucky just to get on here and go live. I mean, really, I'm not kidding you. I am so ignorant. I used to have a guy that hung out with me, and he was pretty tech savvy, and he'd help me out, but he's not around anymore. So I'm on my own. So what I learn, I have to get from guys who want to spend the time to help me out, like Dangerous Freedom. He's helped me on some stuff. So, but I'll tell you what, man, we've still got a half hour almost. So I hope you've got some more topics.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Or you're trying to send a link
from the new computer to the old computer. I have no idea how to do that. Like you, I'm lost with this stuff. So,
well, while you're figuring that out, one thing I really enjoyed about the speech the other night was the fact that Trump flaked her off on the handshake.
Yes.
But I'm thinking that she planned to tear that thing up before it ever started.
Did you see they somebody actually got pictures from behind some way somehow, and her stacks of paper all had tears, about a half-inch tear on the one edge on every one. So it looks like somebody had cut it originally.
Ah, so she didn't tear it originally.
No, it looks like it was cut originally.
Wow.
I have no idea how to get them to my link.
How in the world could they do that? That had to mean that there was somebody inside the President Trump's circle that did that.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Who knows what?
Well, I wouldn't doubt it, because I doubt that Skeletor had enough strength to tear a piece of paper without a notch in it.
Either way, it was childish. But, you know, to me, when she did that, that was a sign of defeat. She's done.
Yeah, she's done. I'm just looking at the chat. Romney is just a Democrat plant.
Yeah.
I believe he would have been the same if President Obama was. Yeah, exactly. He's a rhino. He always has been, always will be. He's just like John McCain, except this guy never served in the military. And y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but I don't particularly care for Mormons to begin with. I don't like any. I really don't tolerate anybody who corrupts the word of God.
Charity I'm sorry, Bobby, I didn't mean to cut you off. Charity O had asked a question. Yes, it is.
Good. Y'all talk back and forth. I like it.
Yeah,
Wookiee Supremacy says Pelosi. Let me pull him back down. Pelosi is the absolute best campaigning for Trump's second term ever. Great work, Nancy. Bravo. And you're right. I mean, his numbers went skyrocketing when she did that. But you know, we're gonna have this battle come November, and it is going to be a battle, because we're not just battling votes; we're battling the corruption of the left. And you know, they're voting fraud, they're voting harvesting, and you know, they're working every day to make it a better way of stealing votes.
Yep.
You know, so we have to be aware. We've got to pay attention. Are we going to have MS-13 people standing outside the voting booths to keep Republicans away, like they did back in 2012 with the
Black Panthers.
it wasn't the Black Panthers. It was
Black Lives Matters.
No, it was Black Panthers. And they stood there. They stood there with their garb, with their guns, and scared pretty much everybody off. Huh?
Wasn't that in Philadelphia?
I believe it was in 2012. Yeah, the year Obama won.
Yep.
But you see, that's the way it is. You know, we sit by idly as conservatives, and we just let them continue on with their lies and their deceit, their evil, and we don't do anything about it. You know, and that's wrong. It's time for us to stand up and be counted. How long are we going to allow our country to be taken away, right, you know, and deteriorated to a third world country? You know as well as I do, if we had a Democrat in office, we would no longer be the United States of America.
No, we wouldn't. I agree with that 100%.
If Hillary would have won, World War III could well be underway right now. Hillary is a warmonger. She loves to kill, and the more she kills, the better she likes it.
Well, I will tell you this about Hillary. The night before the elections, a buddy of mine who was involved with Blackwater got a hold of me and said, "I'm telling you now, if Hillary gets elected, come to my house in the morning, and we're setting you up with all the scary guns that you need." He said, because we're definitely going to war.
Really?
Yes. And this is a guy who did a career in Blackwater. I mean, he was He was one of the bad boys. Let's put it that way. So
yeah.
he said we're going to see blood on Main Street, and I had said that for a long time. We were both very grateful when it didn't happen. So, but he was majorly concerned that night when he called me and told me that.
I'm reading the chat for a second.
They still trying to hammer out my.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but Charity's trying to do something. I hope she gets through with it, whatever it is she's wanting to do. I think she's wanting to post something. But I'll tell you, yeah, man, it's to the point now. We're running down to the wire.
Yeah.
Look at the fiasco they had in Iowa.
Yes.
I mean, the Democrats can't run a convention. They can't run a caucus, and let alone run this country.
Yep. Keep talking about that. Pull that page back up that we talked about.
I mean, that's absolutely funny that everybody's claiming they won, but nobody knows who really did.
Right.
And isn't that the perfect thing for a bunch of Democrats, for them all to have won? Just like they do in school, everybody gets a trophy. Nobody loses, everybody wins. Yeah, that's typical Democrat. They've done it in school for years. Give everybody a trophy when you participate. Right. It's called a participation trophy. Yeah, right. I'll tell you what, every trophy I ever had in my life, which was 0, I earned.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of ribbons back when I was showing horses and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I never had a trophy.
I'm trying to find that channel that we were talking about dealing with the voting in Iowa, but this is something else I had pulled up and I forgot to mention.
Go ahead.
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
Who has said that if she was elected president, one of the first things she would do is stop fracking. Has transferred all her oil and gas investments to her children prior to her running for election. Interesting, huh? She has investments in oil and gas. But she's telling us that she's not going to, she's going to get rid of fracking for the new Green New Deal.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
See, that's more lies and corruption.
She's
that's
terrible.
What you get from the left. I mean, I'm sorry, people, but that's what it is. It's just simply evil, evil, evil continually.
It is.
I mean, here you've got a known liar and Elizabeth Warren. She lied to her college. She lied to everybody about her heritage. She has 0 Indian or Native American blood in her veins. Yet she got into college on a Native American scholarship. See, so it started way back when she was very young, and she's lied through the whole thing. This woman doesn't know what she does. She has an answer and a plan for everything, but the plan that she has will never work.
No.
And then you've got, on top of her, you've got creepy Uncle pedophile Joe Biden. I mean, come on, people. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was a failure as a senator, a failure as a vice president. He's a failure as a candidate.
One thing I noticed. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One thing I noticed is the more I look into this stuff, I used to get a lot of Trump ads, and now I'm getting Bloomberg ads. And then
all the time.
Tonight, just before I got a hold of you, who comes on with a new ad is Bernie begging for people to support him.
Sure.
I'm like, why am I getting Bernie and Bloomberg ads? Where'd my Trump ads go?
Because it's Google, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, they're feeding you what they want to feed you. They want to feed you Bloomberg, and they want to feed you Sanders, because Sanders, as a socialist, with his agenda, it would be Oh my God. Socialism will never happen in this country.
No,
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 we won't let it.
no.
No, it's not going to happen.
On the whole tobacco there in Iowa, the biggest donors were number one, George Soros.
Right.
Surprise at 2,600,000. And then this Fred
Hey,
Echaner,
Luciano.
Newsweb Corporation, $1.5 million. United Food and Commercial Workers Union, ASME, Airline Pilots Association, and then just some SEIU, and then some odd names. They were the bigger ones on this, but then this is where Pete Buttigieg got a $21,250 donation from Shadow Incorporated.
Oh, I've heard that name before.
All right. Gillibrand, when she was there, got a $5,950 donation from Shadow Incorporated. Gillibrand again, $10,700, Shadow Incorporated. Texas Democratic Party, $125, Shadow Incorporated. Gillibrand again, $4,925 from Shadow Incorporated. Pete for America, which is Pete Buttigieg, another $21,250 from Shadow. Gillibrand again for $3,400. Gillibrand again for $2,425, and Gillibrand again for $10,000. And then Biden for president, $1,225. All the money came from a company called Shadow Incorporated. I'll give you one guess who owns Shadow Incorporated, Bobby.
You got me, brother.
Wild guess.
Soros.
There you go. He owns all of it.
Are you serious?
That's serious.
Yeah, but see, he's spreading around little money. He's spreading around bigger money than that we're not told about.
Huge amounts.
Huge amounts. I mean, look what he put in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Soros and Bloomberg are two of a kind. And only thing is Soros has more money than Bloomberg. But Bloomberg said he'll spend every dime he's got to get our guns.
He doesn't really
care about being president. He wants our guns.
Exactly. And he has come out and said that.
Yes, really exactly. He doesn't care if he gets presidency or not. He wants our guns.
It's crazy.
And he's going to spend his billions of dollars to do it. He's already spent millions and millions. He spent $300 million in Virginia. And look what happened there.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
Worked out pretty good for the Patriots.
They're passing their laws, but they're not getting everything that they want.
Yeah.
But he's all over. He's been down here. We know that. I told you there with that Republican senator down here who just took $500,000 from him.
A Republican?
Oh, yeah.
You mean a rhino?
Yeah. Well, it's his. He can't be reelected. It's his last year, so he. Hang on. Bill Galvano took $500,000 from Bloomberg. He is at his limit on his term, so he was no longer. And part of the agreement of the $500,000 was he was going to try to reinstate Scott Israel, the sheriff that was involved with the Parkland shooting.
Right. Imagine that.
What a coinkydink.
Imagine that. Now, why would you want a loser, a non-functioning entity like that sheriff was back in office? I mean, it makes no sense. But see, that's the way it is with the left. It makes no sense with them.
Yeah.
They protect each other.
Oh, they do. I will say this, though, being the kind, caring citizen that I am, I called his office and left a message asking how it felt to be a traitor to the people, and I hope the bribe money was worth it. But then I called another congressman's office that was against Galvano, and he was very nice. And I asked him, what were the chances of this Senate Bill 7028 passing? And he said, 0 chance. So that's a good thing. But it just goes to show you that here's a rhino. It's his last time. He's taking the money and running.
Wow. And that's what they do. Take the money and run.
Yep.
Take the money and run, boys.
So.
But you see, that's what the Democrats do. It's all about money. It's all about power. It's all about putting other people down. And the people they want to put down, to be honest with you, brother, is us. And that's what we have to remember, no matter what. We're in a war, if we like it or not. Yeah. Some people want to call it a revolutionary war. Some say it's civil war. I don't think it's a civil war at all. I don't think that's the least of our problems. I think what we're going to do is we're going to rebel against certain government officials.
Absolutely.
I don't think that we're going to necessarily go against the entire government. But, it's going to be, and y'all get mad at me or not, it's going to be like riding them out on a rail, tarred and feathered. We're going to clean house. Yep. That swamp that President Trump talked about draining, if he doesn't drain it, we're going to drain it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't tolerate but so much. And I'm not advocating war. I'm not advocating killing. I'm advocating getting them out of office. Get rid of them.
Well,
put them in jail where they belong.
These are the kind of people that we're going up against. Okay. That whole Mar-a-Lago incident where that Jeep went through the security gates and they shot up the Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay. And we heard nothing more about that.
That was it. Yeah.
That was it. Well, I did a little background and a little work and checking into what was what. And it ended up being a 30-year-old opera singer from Connecticut who was down here to do a show. She was a registered Democrat. She was a Bernie supporter. She was at a Trump rally holding a sign saying, "Not my president."
Okay.
What started off is she was at a motel dancing on the hood of her rental Jeep. Somebody called the sheriff's office. They got there. She took off. They got into pursuit. She drove right to Mar-a-Lago, blew through the gates. Secret Service, law enforcement shot up the Jeep. She didn't get hit once. She left there. They lost sight of her. She went to the airport and picked up her mom, who was coming down to see her show, with a bullet-riddled Jeep, like nothing ever happened. How they caught her is the license plate reader on the highway.
Right.
Caught the plate, and they caught up with her, and they arrested her at the motel. Secret Service, FBI, local law enforcement.
Wow. So she's riding around with a bullet-riddled Jeep.
Like it was nothing.
Like it's nothing.
Windows.
Crazy.
Holes in the windows. Just going to pick up mom at the airport. This lady was out of her mind. So,
hey, man, you've got a fan here. Wookiee Supremacy says you need to, whoops, it jumped on me. It says you need to make content, brother. You're awesome.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's the way I feel about him too, people. Fight and Defend is a deep digger, and I tell you, he digs into stuff that I don't have time for, and he's kind enough to share with me. And I'll tell you, man, I appreciate you and all your help, because you are. I told him today, as a matter of fact, guys, I told him, I says, I wish I had money to pay you to be on the payroll, but I can't. He helps me that much. I wished I had money to give him for all the work that he does, but he does it for us. So fight and defend. Go ahead. Tell us why you're doing what you're doing. Why you dig so deep.
Well, let's put it this way. If I have to go any deeper down this rabbit hole, I'm going to change my name to Elmer Fudd, because I feel like I'm chasing Bugs Bunny every day. I swear to God. I got into this. For those that don't know, I did gangs and narcotics for 15 years, and I did fire rescue for 6. But I was in it deep enough that I got to see how corrupt things were. It just rubbed me wrong. When it's all right to go and bust the average Joe who's just got done working 50, 60 hours a week and take his paycheck, out of tickets for some BS law. But then the next night, and it happened to me, the next night, a politician's son did the same exact thing, and I wrote him up, and I got called out on the carpet for it.
Yep.
And I had my job threatened in the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing this game. I am not playing this game. It's all or none. And that was, I did a lot of drug work and gang work, but when I was being punished, I had to do traffic detail. Well, I got to visit traffic detail quite often because I didn't play the political game. And I was very outspoken, and I didn't care who you were. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So I finally had enough and left. And I've been doing this stuff, following this stuff for about 25 years. And it's funny now because I used to tell my friends years ago what was happening. This stuff that's happening now was discussed back literally 20 years ago.
Sure.
And I can say that now safely. Back then, I couldn't say anything. I mean, my career was threatened more than one time. That's why I can understand this stuff so well, is because it's almost like I've already lived it. And now I need to get it out to the people, because the people, they have BS the people in the public for so long.
Right.
And, you know, for the longest time, I felt like I was by myself. You know, I knew what was happening. And it's like, who do you talk to? And then what really broke the icing was after Katrina, and Oath Keepers was formed. Oath Keepers was formed by two sheriffs, Stuart Rose and Sheriff Mack. I got involved with that group. I was, I think, one of the first ones in Connecticut, because at the time there was only like 1,600 members. And that's when I really started seeing this stuff and understanding it a lot more, and understanding that I wasn't alone. And it was time to start speaking out. And ever since then, I've just been going full force forward. You know, that's why I said the first night I did the show with you, I had talked ahead of time about covering my face. And then I said, well, if I commit suicide, I'm just telling you now, I'm not suicidal or homicidal.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, brother, a lot of people seem to really like your content. A lot of people want to know why you don't have your own channel. As for me, I'm grateful that you don't, because I really appreciate what you do for me. I talk to you quite often, and you give me a lot of insight and a lot of leads. And that's what we try to do, you know, as a family. You know, if you want to start a channel, I will support you in every way that I can. But until then, just keep on doing what you're doing, brother, because you're getting it out there.
Well, the thing for me is, I mean, and it's no lie, you know, my day starts like everybody else's, but my day usually ends about 2, 3 in the morning every day. You know, once you know, everybody's shows are off and everything calms down, that's when I sit down and I hit the computer all night long. And you know what's amazing? If you get up early enough in the morning and you look at foreign news, you'll know what's happening in the United States before the U.S. news knows what's happening.
Oh, sure. I go to Al Jazeera news a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I'll find stuff on Al Jazeera that you don't find on, you know, any mainstream media network.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I go where the content is.
And honestly, for people out there that want to know about the coronavirus, don't go look at China for answers. Look at Taiwan right now, because they are peeved with China and they are getting the truth out. I mean, even the government, they interviewed the guy from the health ministry in Taiwan, and they said he had a tear in his eye when he's trying to explain to the government. He's trying his best to, you know, protect his own people. The Taiwanese government is ticked. So if you want legit answers, find the news with Taiwan, and they'll keep you updated on what's going on.
Patty, I didn't see it, dear. She says, I don't understand why nobody wants to respond to my comments regarding our declaration rights and duties. We have rights and duties to remove the demons. And that's right, Patty. Yes, we have the right, and we have the calling. I mean, it's a calling of God to rid our government of the demons who possess this country, and that they want to take complete control. So far, we have held our own, but this is going to be a war. And Patty, you're so right.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what I'll say to Patty? and everybody's been saying they're waiting for the indictments. They're waiting for the indictments, and we all have been. Everybody's getting antsy.
Yeah.
But you have to realize they just added on to these indictments more.
Oh yeah.
They need to get all these judges, because they just announced the other night. McConnell just said they're moving forward and they're getting in what 100 and I forgot how many,
I think.
Yeah, how many new judges, but they're getting in a bunch of whole new judges. Once these judges are in place, I say October, November of this year. That's what I'll say. Then you're going to see them drop, and they're going to drop like flies.
Well, you know, it started out, I don't remember the exact count. It was 200 and something or 300 and something judges that Obama did not put in office.
Yeah.
When Trump took office, he had that many judges in front of him to sit behind the bench.
And that was a huge mistake on Obama.
It was, but
Because
there again, it was Obama.
Yeah,
it was Obama.
Right.
But,
the elevator doesn't always go to the top floor with those people.
That's right. But guys, I hate to cut you off, but there's people, I believe American Joe's coming on behind me, and I don't want to walk on him. So we're going to sell it off for tonight. John, Fight and Defend, thank you, brother, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I always enjoy having you. You're a great source of information. And we're going to get you started on your own channel. It won't be long. Remember, I'm giving away a silver bar and a Trump coin when I reach 1,500 subs. So,
because the more people that are aware, the bigger group we have to fight back. And
that's right.
We need as many people as we can. We got to wake up the masses and get everybody to understand what's going on.
That's right. Hydroponic Flowers, Dangerous Freedom, Eric Schnault. Eric, all of you guys are already in my PDX Scout. You need to text me so I can put you on the list. I haven't seen you yet. But everybody, I love you. Thank you for coming. I don't want to walk on anybody coming on after me, so I'm going to get out of here. And we're going to get back here Sunday morning at 11 a.m. With a Bible study. So join us then if you're inclined to do so. My name's Deplorable Bobby. This is John at Fight and Defend. And
I got to get some more rabbits.
and we'll see you again in a day or two. He'll be back.
Yes,
but I'll see y'all Sunday morning at 11 a.m. God bless, and y'all take care.
Very good. Good night, everybody.
Good night, John. We'll talk to you later.